Alright then guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the football channel. First things first, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot. Feeling good about this. It's been a good start to the channel. And today we start my transfer series, which is lacking a name at this point. I've thought long and hard about what I want it to be. I kind of want it to be something that's kind of relevant if people were to randomly bump into it. I don't want it to be like George's transfer gossip. That is trash. We don't want that whatsoever, so your thoughts in the comments would be greatly appreciated. I may end up choosing yours, and if I do, of course, I'll give you a little shout out as you've given me the name for a new transfer series. But today, episode number 1 of what this transfer series is going to be. It's going to be me sitting chatting about football transfers. I mean, who'd have guessed it, really? Every couple of days, I'm going to look through the newspapers, I'm going to look through the gossip columns, I'm going to look through what is now my new favourite way of looking through transfer speculation, which is Twitter. There are some semi-reputable ones, some very reputable ones, and some also extremely unreputable Twitter sources for transfers. So we're going to go through all of it. We're going to give little ratings to different transfers. We're going to give ratings on possibility. We're going to give ratings on whether it's a good fit for the club selling, for the club buying. But today, it's focused on one transfer, and one transfer only. One transfer that hits me very hard, it hits other Chelsea fans very hard, and probably hits Real Madrid fans very hard as well, because they have had a torrid season by their standards, and they have just signed one of the best players in the world, our beloved Prince of Stamford Bridge, Eden Hazard, signed for Real Madrid for £88 million plus add-ons, and I'm hearing that it could be, including the add-ons, within the region of £150 million, which, considering he's only got 1 year left on his contract, you can't really expect to get any more money than that. Obviously, Chelsea are renowned for actually getting the most for their players, and also getting players in at the best price as well. We signed Eden Hazard in 2012 from Lille for 32 million, which, on the grander scheme of history in the Premier League, is a pretty incredible value. As the people next door just shut their door because I'm talking too loud about football. But yeah, we bought him for 32 million. We sold him with a year left on his contract for £88 million plus add-ons, and nobody in their right mind can question the value of which we've got for Eden Hazard. If he had 4 or 5 years left on his contract, even given his age, we'd have been looking at 200 million. If you really want to argue about it, I said it and Louis said it in the previous video we did in the preview to the Europa League final, I say the guy's better than Neymar, and if Neymar can go for close to 200 million or whatever it was, so can Eden Hazard. It's, for me, not even a debate. And that's not just because I'm a Chelsea fan and he's been playing for my club and he's scored over 100 goals in 350 odd games. He's just so good. And it's not just scoring goals against the small teams that any good player can do. It's scoring the big goals in the big games. 2 in the Europa League final. Scoring the winning penalty against Frankfurt to get us to the final in the first place. My favourite memories were, of course, the goals against Arsenal in the Premier League. The one where he left Coquelin on his arse and then took on like 4 or 5 players running half the length of the pitch and putting it past Petr Cech. That was an incredible moment. There were plenty of those in a Chelsea shirt. You look last season in the Carabao Cup against Liverpool at Anfield. To score a goal like that, it's absolutely ridiculous. The goal against Spurs to stop them winning the league, to give Leicester the title. He's a big game player, a bit like Didier Drogba was for Chelsea, scoring tons of goals in finals. Real Madrid have got themselves one of, in my opinion, probably the 3rd best player in the world right now. Obviously, Ronaldo's getting older, Messi's getting older. They've kind of been in their own little league. This isn't a video about who's better in terms of those guys or anybody who's trying to get to that level. You look at Hazard, you look at Neymar, you look at Mbappe, those are the closest ones, probably Antoine Griezmann as well, in that sort of attacking lineup of players that we can consider some of the best in the world. Going further back, you've got the likes of Van Dijk, who's definitely in with a shout of winning something in the next year or so after what he's done with Liverpool. But Eden Hazard, what does it mean for... We know what it means for Real Madrid. They've just gone and signed Luka Jovic as well from Frankfurt. That is going to be a scary front if they manage to keep hold of Gareth Bale and the countless other players, Vinicius Jr. as well. That's a scary looking lineup. And you look at what Chelsea have had going forward as a striker in front of Eden Hazard. There's been no one anywhere near as good as the players that Real Madrid have going forward. Yes, you can say Higuain's a wonderful striker, but he's only had 5 months. So, in terms of the assists, you can expect Hazard to get tons more assists, tons more goals in La Liga as well, in my opinion. The Premier League's a very difficult, aggressive league. He's been fouled more than any other player since he got here. So many crazy stats that I just think the shift from the Premier League to La Liga is going to be a very easy one for Eden Hazard. And I made the bold statement on Twitter saying that I expect him to win the Ballon d'Or with one season at Real Madrid with all of those players in front of him, and then you've got the likes of Marcelo, and they've just signed Mendy as well, coming from the left. It's like, the guy cannot fail. When you've got that much innate ability, when you've got the attitude that he has, he's destined to succeed at Real Madrid. As for Chelsea, what does it mean for us? Well, we've lost our best player from the past 7 years. We've lost, in my opinion, one of the top 5 best players in the world, and we've also got the small drama of a transfer ban, which we've appealed it. There's no guarantee that we're actually going to be able to sign players this summer. So how do you fill the boots of someone as good as Eden Hazard? You can't. Whether we had the ability to sign players or not, you're not going to be able to replace Eden Hazard directly. We're going to miss him. We're going to miss him greatly. We're going to miss him in the big games. We're going to miss his creativity in the games where we're not playing well against the lower teams and we scrape a 1-0 or a 2-1 or something like that. It's very, very hard to get a player of that quality into the Chelsea team. In terms of what we do have available, obviously we've got Christian Pulisic to come in. He is a player I'm very excited about. He's a player that can run at defenders. He's a player that can score goals, and I fully expect him to come straight into the team. Then there's Hudson-Odoi. He's got a bit of an injury going on. We've not had very much luck with injuries, Chelsea. Towards the end of the season and going into the start of next season, we've got a few injuries that look like they could be long-term. Hudson-Odoi is obviously the player that everyone is looking at to fill Eden Hazard's boots. In terms of where they're both at right now, it's not even a question. Callum Hudson-Odoi is very young, he's got a lot of potential, but there's no way he's going to be able to have the immediate impact that Hazard has left Chelsea with. What Eden Hazard has done over the past, particularly 4 or 5 years, has been absolutely extraordinary. Hudson-Odoi, at his age, it's going to take him a long time to get to the level, if he ever does, that Eden Hazard has been at for Chelsea. So in terms of a direct replacement, we don't really have that. In terms of if the transfer ban does get uplifted, what could we bring in? Again, I don't know. We're lucky to have Champions League football now, through both ways, top 4 and Europa League final win as well. So Champions League football is definitely going to be a draw. The problem that I see with if the transfer ban is uplifted and we do get to sign players, yes, Chelsea can compete most likely with most clubs in Europe regarding wages, but if you had the choice to sign for a club right now, I probably wouldn't choose Chelsea, simply because there is so much disorganisation. We're in a bit of disarray right now, to be quite honest. We don't know if we're going to have Maurizio Sarri as the manager come the start of next season. I'll save that for a completely different video. Apparently we're going to find out within the next week if he's going to take over at Juventus. Supposedly he's got a 3-year agreement at Juventus sorted, which would make total sense, really, in my opinion, but we'll save it. I won't go on to any more tangents about that. If you're a player coming in and you want to play for a top club, do you want to sign for Chelsea right now? I would say no. At the same time, there is availability for positions, there is availability for new players, so chances are, if we do sign a high quality player to play on the wing, he'll probably walk straight into the team. Although I would personally love to see Hudson-Odoi being given Eden Hazard's shirt and saying, go on, just give it a go. I think next season at Chelsea there's going to be very little expectation, which is a very exciting time for whoever is the manager, because I think that for once we're not expected to win the league. We're probably not even expected to get top 4. If you look at what's going on around us, everyone else is strengthening already. City are already strengthening. Liverpool just won the Champions League. They're probably the most attractive club in Europe to go to right now. They're going to be expanding their squad even further. So I don't expect us to bring anyone additional in other than Christian Pulisic, who's coming in after his loan to Dortmund. I don't expect us to bring anyone in. I think that, again, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, to replace Eden Hazard is not even up for question, really. He's that good. So yeah, it's up to the youngsters. It's up to the players who we've all been looking at over the past years. You've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who is finally in a Chelsea shirt on a regular basis, something the fans have wanted to see for so long. Hudson-Odoi's been given the chance. Sarri gave him the chance toward the ends of last season. I'm excited to see what he does. You've got the likes of Mason Mount, who was on loan at Derby and had a brilliant season under Frank Lampard. Maybe Frank Lampard comes into the manager's frame. Again, topic for a whole new video and new conversation. Mason Mount's probably going to come back. Michy Batshuayi, a man who I have added reason to want to succeed in the long term at Stamford Bridge because I got him on my wrist. He's probably going to come back into the fold as well, and he's a natural goal scorer. He's not going to be able to replace Eden Hazard, different positions and obviously different attributes, but it's not the worst time for Chelsea, as people are saying. It's quite clear from social media that everybody expects us to be a banter club now for a while because we've just lost our best player and nobody knows who's the manager's going to be. We don't even know if we can sign players. I understand that, but as a Chelsea fan, it's quite exciting to look at the youngsters we do have coming through. There is no doubt that they are an extremely talented bunch of youngsters that we have coming through, and if we have no choice but to bleed them into the first team, all of the fans are going to be behind them more so than ever before, because there's nothing better than seeing young, talented academy players come up and given the opportunity. Always the best reception at Stamford Bridge is for Loftus-Cheek when he scores. Hudson-Odoi this season, just gone when he scores. The fans get behind it, and I feel like next season it's going to be a really exciting season to be a Chelsea fan, even if it isn't going to be the most successful one. Sat on the balcony is absolutely gorgeous. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and as always, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think it's going to mean for Chelsea? Are Real Madrid going to be back challenging next season for the Champions League? I personally think they've got to be one of the favourites. With the signings they've already made, there's talk of Eriksen going the other way. It's a no-brainer, I think, that under Zidane, Real Madrid are going to be back next season. Just a little addition to the whole Hazard thing. I don't think any Chelsea fan can begrudge him the move. He's been nothing but professional. Yes, he's been kind of flirting with Real Madrid for years, but at the end of the day, it's never been a secret that it's his boyhood club. It's the club he's always dreamed about playing for since he was a boy. Completely understandable. I've been to the Bernabeu, I've done a tour of the Bernabeu. When you're there, you can feel the aura of the place. You can feel how big of a club it is, with the rich history, with the recent history. It's a club that any footballer would love to play for. So as a Chelsea fan, you cannot begrudge him the move. He has given absolutely everything at Chelsea. He's been a joy to watch, not just a loss for Chelsea, but a big, big loss for the Premier League. And we'll see what happens next season. But anyway, as I was saying, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I'm super tired, you can probably tell. Need to go and rest the throat now, also. Making a cool little video here in Vienna. But yeah, I'll catch you soon, and let me know your thoughts on what we can call this series, little transfer talk series, in the comment section down below. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.